EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the architectural wonder that is the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. We thought the old place was loud. Somehow this place got even louder a short time ago as the set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. First and 10, it's Ryan. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there at 22. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. This guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
From midfield now, here's Ryan. Steps away to his left. Looking downfield for Jones. Touchdown, Falcons. Julio Jones, 50 yards. And the Falcons have taken the early lead. Well, that's how they envisioned it, get the football to start the game and score.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
Bryant's extra point up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 26. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he will loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. On play action. Now Rodgers. Going for the deep ball. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, and have them back on their heels.
Throwing is Rodgers. And this is going to be incomplete. Solid coverage on the play by Devondre Campbell.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And boy, down a touchdown already, but they're going to line up to go for it on their side of the field. They do go for it. It's Rodgers. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Vic Beasley able to drop him for a loss of 4. For the Falcons, Charles, we talked all year about the injuries that they had in 2018, and you kind of touched on it earlier, too. It's hard to get around them, though, when you look back at this past year. So they go to 7-9, and I know that that's not what they wanted, but with all the injuries, is that okay?
It would be if you didn't think you were going to the Super Bowl. You know, if you didn't think you had a chance at that.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Josh Jackson, and he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Earlier, Charles, we were mentioning about how Green Bay missed the playoffs this last year. You know, they had made the playoffs 8 straight years, 2009 to 2016. But now 2 straight years without going to the playoffs. And when you're playing in a town called Titletown, USA, I don't know that you're accustomed to that.
This feels to them, even though it's just been 2 years, this feels like the days when they went through former legends leading them. Bart Starr, Forrest Gregg, even Lindy Infante came in, had a 10-win season, but none of those resulted in a playoff appearance. A lot more years then. The Packers don't want to get back to that now. This cost Mike McCarthy his job. The new head coach wants to set a new direction and get the Packers back in the playoff picture.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
319!
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Man open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And out across midfield down to the 45. 23 yards on the play.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Tackle made by Bruce Carter. A note on Aaron Jones, by the way, Charles, it kind of surprised me. He actually led the NFL this season at 5.5 yards per carry.
He's one of those players that doesn't get mentioned nearly often enough for his explosiveness. But when he touches the football, good things happen for the Green Bay Packers. Unfortunately, didn't play in the early part of the season, then got hurt in the late.
Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Bruce Carter with a pick. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. Topic, but we'd be remiss if we didn't point out what else was happening Super Bowl weekend. The Madden 19 Club Championship, 2nd major this season, 2 more to follow. And our winner, Pauvin, representing the Oakland Raiders. He took down the Vikings, and your favorite, Charles, Ivy Strafin. He had to reach for the Ivy to 24, beat down in the final.
Well, you know, if he was representing the Oakland Raiders, the Vikings went down, and they went down hard. That's how the Raiders do it.
How about Pauvin, though? Wins $100,000 for his efforts. Also won Super Bowl tickets for the next day. Unselfishly gave them to his father and his brother.
How about that? That's pretty cool. Congratulations, Pauvin. Way to go.
And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. It's a big play there for Atlanta. Yards. A first chance in the red zone for the Falcons now. They've got a 1st and goal just inside the 5. They'll run here with Freeman. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And Bryant's kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip.
Well, maybe a little bit of an anxious moment there as that ball got closer and closer, but it does curl in.
Yeah, actually did a little bit of a slow dance there with the left upright, didn't it? But had just enough space, as you said, for it to curl in.
Now the return. Here comes Randall Cobb. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Well, CD, the NFL held its awards show the night before the Super Bowl, and as you and I had speculated the last few weeks, Patrick Mahomes, MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, and for the 2nd straight season, how about Aaron Donald, Defensive Player of the Year?
Yeah, Donald was expected. We knew that was going to happen. Mahomes, we thought would happen. There was that school of thought that maybe Drew Brees might walk away with the MVP since he's never won one, but Mahomes a deserving winner. How about the offense?
And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Brooks Reed in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. They had him back deep, got the interception, and now they start inside the 10.
Partner, forget starting inside the red zone. They're inside the green zone. From the 10-yard line in, a lot of teams call it that because that's the money zone. Get it into the end zone and make your cash.
Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here.
20. Let's go.
After the interception, here's Ryan. Swings it out to the flat for Freeman. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. 2nd and goal, and the lone man in the backfield is Freeman. He's going to get it running right. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Call it a gain of a couple. The defense stiffening here. It's 3rd and goal. This is kind of one of those in-between plays here, Charles, on 3rd and goal from the 2 or the 3 in that area. What do you dial up?
Something quick hitting. You don't have the time for something that develops slowly. It's got to be right at them if you're going to run the football. And if you're going to throw it, something quick, get it out of your hands in a hurry.
Now it's Ryan. And that'll be hauled in by the tight end. It's Hooper for the Falcon touchdown. Austin Hooper from 3 yards out. And the Falcons will extend their lead. And he knocks it through. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. While we have a second here, let's peek back to the Super Bowl. The lowest scoring Super Bowl, Charles, in history, 13-3, and it took us 53 minutes to get our first touchdown of Super Bowl 53.
Can you believe they went into the half, 3-0 New England, Stephen Gostkowski with a field goal. Then they finally tie it up with Greg Zuerlein at the end of 3 quarters of the Rams knocking one through the post. The Patriots, the third team to win the year after losing a Super Bowl, the first since the Dolphins in 1972.
And, of course, the big number now for New England, 6 titles, and they are tied with the Steelers for the most ever.
Throwing now is Rodgers. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Tack McKinley in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. And no move to get the offense off the field. Despite failing once, they're going to go again here on 4th down. They'll try and throw for it here. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this is going to be incomplete. A surprise. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the state of Florida and TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville. This crowd excited to see their Jaguars as both teams emerged from their tunnels a moment ago. We are just about ready for football as the Jags get set to match up with Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons. The veteran Matt Bryant set to rock and roll, and off we go from Jacksonville. Bortles now on 1st down. And his first look is incomplete. Marquise Lee, the intended target. And now it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
He rifles one that's intercepted. 37. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Gun!
Throwing now, Ryan on 1st down. Forced out to his left. And that is incomplete. Trying to get that in the hands of Devontae Freeman that time. That'll bring up 2nd down.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Second and 10. It's Ryan again. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A very solid gain of 27. A first chance in the red zone for the Falcons now. They've got a 1st and goal to go at the 7. First carry for the tailback, Devontae Freeman. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
They'll try again on 2nd and goal after going backwards to the 12. From the shotgun, Ryan. Flush to his right. His throw incomplete. He was looking for Mohamed Sanu there. And it's 3rd down.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss a one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfired.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back. On 3rd and goal, Ryan. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
These Jacksonville Jaguars, as their offense comes back out here, they had a hard fall from 2017. Now, there are falls and there are graceful falls. This was not a graceful fall. It was, wow, from the AFC Championship game to 5-11.
So you're saying it wasn't part of the ballroom dancing course that they might have taken, right? Where it's
negative.
Very graceful in what they're getting done?
Negative.
I mean, they ended up going 5-11. Defense was still good.
And he is going to be hit and taken down. Bortles sacked. Grady Jarrett breaking through to get him for a loss of 7. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Following the sack, 3rd and long for Bortles and the Jags. No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Going right side here, and that's complete. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense. So as they take it over, we step aside.
Here we go.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Fournette, a first down carry. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
On 2nd down, here's Fournette. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be 3rd and about a foot or 2. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars. Relatively small sample size, but that's his longest run of the first quarter. Bounced it out to the outside to make it successful.
And to get there, you actually need some help. It's not just your pure speed getting to the corner, making sure that the blocking is taken care of inside so the pursuit doesn't get you. And oftentimes, those wide receivers, tight ends that might be flexed out, they've got to control the edge and make sure no one from the outside can spill the play before he gets there.
Check. 380. Omaha.
Bortles on the give to Fournette. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because...
Now they'll throw it. Bortles going deep for Moncrief. This is caught. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Dante Moncrief, 43 yards. And the Jags are able to catch in for 6. And he's got it up and through. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Before this next drive gets going, we need to discuss the Hall of Fame inductees. There will be 8 in the 2019 class. We got Champ Bailey, Tony Gonzalez, Ty Law. Who else am I forgetting in there?
Well, how about a big guy, a lineman, Kevin Mawai, who was absolutely terrific in his career. How about Ed Reed with the Baltimore Ravens and the great job he did in the secondary there. Pat Bowlen, Gil Brandt as contributors, the owner of the Broncos and the longtime scout with the Cowboys. And I love the senior committee bringing in Johnny Robinson, the safety with Kansas City.
Tony Gonzalez was a first ballot guy. And, of course, when I hear Ty Law's name, you think, wow, he started this great Patriots dynasty that we're still living in.
You're exactly right. And the Patriots, with all of their championships, probably underrepresented in the Hall of Fame.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Ryan. This one caught by Ridley. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it.
And he fires one that's intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick. And they will score. It's a Jacksonville touchdown. I don't know who all is to blame there, but I love seeing pick sixes.
Nothing like seeing someone pluck it out of the air and go the other way and see people try to change directions. Hard to do.
Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And that'll make the score 14-0. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And here now come the Falcons. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Tuesday. Gun. There you go.
2nd and 10 now. Ryan. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there and gets the good defensive position, able to affect the play.
On 3rd down, Ryan. It's caught. Jones. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That goes as a gain of 36 on 3rd down. Again, Ryan. And Jones has it over the middle. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run it and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
On 2nd down, Freeman. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Devontae Freeman, a 12-yard touchdown run. And the Falcons have cut it to within a score. Bryant tacks on the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back with more from Jacksonville. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this. A handoff to Fournette. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it, and boy, the reward was there. A big pickup, and guess what? It's now third and very short in order to try and pick up a first down.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. And in their own territory, needing only a few inches, they're going to line up to go for this thing on fourth down. They do go for it. It's Bortles. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Cole. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. 2 first downs have them up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. They go play action here on first down. It's a loss of 8 there on the first down play. On second down, here's Bortles. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. Calvin Ridley from 19 yards away. And the Falcons are an extra point away from tying the football game. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. Jumpy on the right side of the line.
Sometimes when you're on the end, a little bit farther away from the ball, any type of movement will get you to jump, and that's exactly what happened there.
Bryant's extra point up and good. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. Now, we have seen a lot on the scoreboard here in this quarter. So sometimes you talk to me about tendency breakers on offense. These defenses struggling. Are there tendency breakers on defense?
All defensive coordinators keep something in their hip pocket for these types of situations. What can we do to slow down the onslaught? But the biggest thing is making sure these guys encourage each other, pick themselves up, because right now it's been a really tough ball game trying to stop these offenses.
Oh, it really has, especially as of late.
Hank.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack, but he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
And he roams across the 20 to the 24-yard line. 8 yards on the run there, and that trims it to a 3rd and 11 coming up. A final shot before half for Bortles. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. You sure you're ready for the third quarter? Need to use a bathroom or anything? All right, cool. Let's go. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. So out come the Falcons now. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game. We'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You're probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
On 2nd down, here's Ryan. Drops it off for Coleman. Now a loose football. Coleman lost it. And did the Jaguars come up with it? They did.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me, because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Trying to improvise. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a first down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit, because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. And he's able to find some room as they get him down after a good run. 8 yards on the run there, and that leaves him with 3rd and just a couple. Bortles looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Escaping the press, fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out, and the Falcons grab it. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. Past the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. So many times, tight games decided by one big play. A lot of times, of course, it's the offense. Here, it's the defense coming up huge.
And you know head coaches walk around locker rooms, walk around bench areas saying, guys, somebody make a play. It's a cliche, but it applies here.
Bryant now to tack on the extra point. Bryant tacks on the extra point, and the lead is now 21-14. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them, the coaches from all the way up here. They were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
Again, it's Fournette. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now. Here's a give to Fournette, and he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Bortles. He's going to float this one deep right side. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10. Bortles again here on 2nd and 10. Oh, he almost had it. Already with one interception, just missing his second there.
You know they wanted, you know they expected. They needed him to be sharp coming out after the half. Unfortunately, he's missed his first 3 throws. I wonder if he got out late and missed his warm-up time.
The whole team did come out a little bit later than usual. I don't know, maybe there's something to that.
Must have been a heck of a halftime speech.
Yeah, maybe just trying to rally the troops back from this deficit. It'll be a gain of 4, and it'll be 4th down. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more.
Singles, 11B, 11B.
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And they will not be able to hook. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the state of Florida and TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville. A few minutes prior to us coming on air, this crowd was jolted into action with the introduction of these Jaguars. They're set for football as the Jags are ready to match up with Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons. The veteran Matt Bryant set to rock and roll. And off we go from Jacksonville. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
A first carry for Leonard Fournette. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Now Leonard Fournette. And all the way down to the 26. A big hitter. That one goes for 40 yards.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him. But don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
When they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Grady Jarrett breaking through to get him for a loss of 7.
I know there would be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Sunday.
Throwing his Bortles on 3rd down. It's complete on the bubble screen. That's Cole. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. Bortles to throw for it on 4th down. And he finds Safarian Jenkins. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal. The Jags with their first opportunity in the red zone. They're looking at a 1st and goal from about the 9. Shotgun now for Bortles. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Tack McKinley in there to bury him for a loss of 11. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
And this one is incomplete. Back-to-back great plays defensively. You get the sack on 1st and goal. A great job in coverage there. All of a sudden, they're looking at 3rd and goal from further back than when they started.
And the really good play callers look ahead and down and distance sequence. Now he's got to backtrack a little bit and go maybe off his play sheet to try and dial something up here.
Bortles now on 3rd and goal. Got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Dante Moncrief, a 20-yard touchdown. And the Jaguars drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Oh, look at the juke. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their own 22. From the gun, it's Ryan. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Dewan Smoot in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
And so much for that great field position to start the game. Now they're way behind the sticks. Can't wait to see what their 2nd down call is going to look like now.
Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. From the shotgun, Ryan. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tashawn Gibson. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. We thought this defense would be opportunistic, and they were. Here, you're already up. Now you got a 2-touchdown lead. I tell you, going out there on defense, did they have a little bit of extra momentum with the score? Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And they gave up the pick 6, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
Back to the air, Ryan after the pick 6. And they will score. It's a Jacksonville touchdown.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick 6. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Throwing after the interception. Ryan. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
All right, need you to check my eyes here. This entire unit defensively, I think, has looked really strong in the first half, especially in the secondary. They've been cohesive, fast to the football. We just saw another example arriving there to help knock that one away.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Second and 10. It's Ryan again. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
Well, sometimes those cliches really come true, don't they? When they talk about it takes all 11 to play good defense. We've seen that in this ball game. I think the secondary has to be singled out, though. They are in the presence of every receiver whenever the ball's thrown. And this one, they help force another incompletion.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
Ready! Blue 80! 22!
Out of the gun, it's Ryan. Flushed out right. He'll let it go deep for Freeman. And that one incomplete. Had some position, but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls when you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. It'll be a 44-yard punt. The return goes for 8. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here.
And they had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette.
And Duke Riley will get credit for the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Snap comes at 1, and it's Bortles. This is Yeldon on the dump off. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. It's a gain of 7, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
On 3rd down, Fournette. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs.
We ought to come up with a T-shirt and sell it that says, no indecision on 3rd and 1. And we didn't see it on that run, did we? Got his shoulders square, just got right into the line of scrimmage and picked it up.
Absolutely. Picked his lane, went with it, and converted.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's a carry for a former starter. This is T.J. Yeldon. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. 2nd down, a little more productive than 1st. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back with more from Jacksonville. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Fournette. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
They keep it with Fournette on 1st down. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half.
Hey, spread left. Spread left. Get that quarterback.
Now they'll throw it. Bortles under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Vic Beasley in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. Following the sack, 3rd and long for Bortles and the Jags.
Spread right, 72. Move.
They'll run with Fournette, and he'll be taken down at the 34. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. On the left hash, officially it's called a 51. And now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. So we hit the halftime break here in Jacksonville with the Jags on top. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. First throw off the bench for the veteran Schaub. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Now Schaub. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Tashawn Gibson. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
with the Eagles.
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it was against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct.
372.
So after the INT, it's Bortles. Over the middle, complete. It's Cole. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A gain of 32 that time. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's first and goal just outside the 5.
539, Lucy.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
They get it to him running left. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
380.
A fake to Fournette. Now it's Bortles to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Austin Seferian-Jenkins from 6 yards away. And the Jaguars are pouring it on.